A wise man once said, the journey of 603 miles starts with a single step. This week in Be Generous Always, that's what we're talking about. Our journey of generosity. I, for one, certainly know that I'm not where I want to be in terms of living generously. I doubt you're where you want to be in terms of living generously. We've heard these incredible sermons for the last couple of weeks about the freedom and the joy that can come out of living generously, out of living out of a place of contentment, out of having the courage to handle our own mess so that we are no longer bound by things like debt. But we don't know how to get there. Well, I guess a good place to start would be at the beginning of our Be Generous Always journey as a church. The verse that actually sprung the whole concept of Be Generous Always in 2 Corinthians chapter 9. There's this passage where Paul is talking to a church who has been generous to him and his close friends. And he's talking about really what generosity is about. He says here, God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. As it is written, they have freely scattered their gifts to the poor, and their righteousness endures forever. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous always. And through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. Now, this church has been generous, not with their time or talents, but because they're far away, they've been generous with their treasure. They've helped out a church that is in dire financial need. These people are not allowed to be a part of the economy. They're not able to get jobs because they're Christians. They're being persecuted. And so this church has stepped in. But Paul is saying that their return on investment is not money. They're not getting more money back. They're getting things like they said that you will abound in every good work. You're getting good works back. Righteousness. Your harvest of righteousness will be enlarged. You're going to be enriched in every way so that you can be generous always and result in thanksgiving to God. Are we just handing money out to people indiscriminately as we walk down the street? No. You see, that's one of the secrets to generosity, and that's maybe the first step in our journey, is realizing that generosity is not a wallet thing, it's an all of it thing. And whenever we give, what we get back isn't exactly the same. It reminds me of a story that we find in Luke, a really famous story where Jesus is preaching to a crowd of 5,000 men. I mean, we're talking maybe 15, 20,000 total people if they brought all their families. And no one remembered to bring lunch. And lunchtime comes around and everybody starts getting hungry and they're going, oh no. It's every man for himself out here. There's no way for us to get food. What are we going to do? We got to send people away so that they can get food. There's no food trucks rolling up to feed them. And Jesus sees a little boy who's got 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And the boy comes and gives what he has to Jesus. The boy opens his eyes and sees the need. He sees, oh man, there's a lot of people hungry here. And he looks down, he opens his eyes to see his own resources, and he's like, I got some food. And he doesn't know if what he has is enough. He knows that it won't make an impact, but he also knows where he can take it. He takes it to Jesus and he gives his resources, he gives what he has to Jesus, and Jesus takes it and multiplies it. And that is a spiritual truth that is represented in the physical world here through this miracle. Jesus takes what little he has and he multiplies it into enough to feed 20,000 people plus several baskets full over. You see, generosity is not an investment plan. Generosity is not a retirement plan for us. Whenever we live generously, when we open our eyes, when we open our hands, when we open our hearts to people, we start getting a return on investment that is incredible. It's not money back. We're not getting ourselves rich in the real world, but we are changing lives. And that's what we want to do at Movement. We want to have a 5 loaves, 2 fish type explosion of thanksgiving and rejoicing to God, of good deeds, of righteousness, right? We want to plant 1,000 churches by 2050. And so the only way that we're going to do that is if we start living out this kind of generosity. And we can't live out this kind of generosity if we don't take the next step on our journey.